Brilliant. Okay, let's get this party started, shall we? I'm just going to keep an eye on people that are jumping in the middle of it. So I'll just be looking over here every now and then just to make sure that people are actually getting on. Actually, I can't see the attached documents. Okay. So if you scroll all the way to the top, they're not there. That's okay. I'll attach them again at the end as well. So never fear. Oh, you can't scroll to the top. Okay, no worries. I'll attach them at the end of the presentation so that you've got them there as well. No problem. So just to begin, my name's Alan Hunt. I'm one of the co-founders of the Rookies, along with Andrew McDonald. Rookies has been going for 49 years, and Rookie Awards is kind of what we've been well known for, and this is what I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today, and sort of get into the details about the new categories that we're introducing, what judges are looking for when they're reviewing entries, where to go to look at sort of past entries to kind of figure out what makes up a good entry, eligibility criteria. Which category should I enter into? All these sort of commonly asked questions that we get every single year. So as we go through, feel free to throw any questions that you may have into the chat. I'd probably recommend just waiting until the end, because there's a good chance I would have already answered it by the time we get through this. So if I just kick off, like I mentioned, Andrew McDonald is the other co-founder. Both of us have come from a visual effects background, both over 18 years. It's probably more 20 years now, but I also work at Adobe, head up education partnerships within the 3D and I team there, focusing on the substance applications. So I get to view new industries that are embracing 3D and see it through that lens, which is really exciting for young people that are learning this 3D skill set. You can see there we've worked on a number of different films. I specialized as a character texture artist. Andrew was a head of department for modeling and works full-time on the Rookies. So let's just jump through this. So if we look at the Rookies platform, I just wanted to spend a little bit of time on, I guess, educating new people to the platform, about what the benefits are of actually being part of the Rookies community. There's a lot of different platforms out there for hosting portfolios and submitting your work to, but I wanted to just touch on some of the benefits of being part of our community. And I think community is a really important word, particularly during these times. There's a lot of uncertainty in visual effects and games, and we're seeing on social media platforms a lot of people being let go, and more than ever it's really important to be able to have a community where you can connect with other students, other non-professionals, to really support each other, and also give each other encouragement, and also know that everything is about timing, and even though we're going through a bit of a trough at the moment, we will come out of that, and there will be a lot more opportunities in some of these industries that we're seeing layoffs at the moment. So community is extremely important, and even seeing the other month that CG Society was closing down was really disappointing for me. That was kind of when I started off in visual effects. There were a couple of different platforms that everyone went to. CG Society was one. There was CG Hub and some other ones that probably you haven't even heard of and that have closed down since then. But they were, as somebody coming into the industry, they were a great source of inspiration. They were a place where I could connect, learn, grow from. And I think that's why the Rookies platform is important as ever now, because there's fewer and fewer platforms like us out there. So you can see that I'm going to just go through the different pillars here. So we've got portfolios and sort of gamification. The second pillar, this is where, and I don't even really like to call it portfolio. It is an area where you're uploading your work to. Really, portfolio suggests to me this is where you're adding your final portfolio to show to recruiters. Actually, it's not like that at all. This is your body of work where you can upload work where you or a project that you're currently working on to really get feedback from the community. It's a safe space. It's, like I said, you can remove projects that are old, upload new projects, but really it's a work in progress area. Think of it like that, where it's like, hey, you know what? I don't care if people see that I'm beginning and this is where I'm starting from. Don't be ashamed of that. That's what that whole area is for. And then at the other end of that, we do have students that have graduated that really have got that final portfolio of work and have streamlined that, and they're able to create those portfolios as well. So yeah, it's for everybody. It's not just for a grad that has a body of work. And during that process, you might have done one amazing project and been featured on our front page, or you've been given a badge from somebody. So you can see here, you get start accumulating these accolades, these badges. Now, the great thing with the Rookies platform is that it's really well known in the industry within games, visual effects, and 2D and so forth. So recruiters from all around the world recognize that global brand that we are. And so to be receiving these types of badges, even if it is a featured portfolio, then you should be showcasing that off, whether it's on your LinkedIn profile or your social media platforms. That's a great way to show that, hey, you know what, while I'm studying or while I'm at this learning stage, I am receiving these types of badges. Like I said, they hold a lot of weight, and recruiters do identify with that. So you should be proud to be able to promote that. So we have, during contests, we have other badges. So there might be specialty badges for a particular contest. And what I mean by that, we just had a Adobe Meet Mat contest that just recently wrapped up. But inside that, we had unique badges that were part of that contest. For the Rookie Awards, we have excellence awards or badges that judges can allocate as they're judging or going through that judging process. It might, that doesn't mean that you're going to win Rookie Awards. It just means that a particular judge has reviewed your work and gone, you know what, that's an amazing piece of art or, project or whatever it may be, and they can freely allocate those badges. You can't see who has allocated that badge, but again, it's a very high distinction, and you should be super proud of that. We have a Discover platform, and we can look at this on the website as I go through, once I've gone through this presentation. The Discover is really our information hub. This is, we get a lot of traffic coming through here. There's articles and breakdowns from members that we invite back onto the platform. For a lot of people, it's the first time ever creating a breakdown for a publication on a global platform like the Rookies. So it's a big deal. We promote those breakdowns through our social media, and you get exposure and recognition that way. The other benefit with getting your work published on the Rookies platform is that it actually can contribute to visa applications. So say, for example, you're based in Europe and you're like, hey, you're eyeing up a studio in North America, and you need to go through applying for a visa. Having your work published on a platform like the Rookies can actually contribute to that visa application, because it is globally recognized. So you should always promote the fact that you've had that done. There's a lot of information there for new students that are coming through to be able to go through those breakdowns and identify with some of the problems that other students have faced within their environment. So there's a lot of great tips and tricks and just being able to figure things out. There's other articles in there where we're sort of reviewing schools, we're reviewing hardware, software, all those types of things that are just giving new people coming into the industry just information about our industry. Sorry, there's a couple more people wanting to jump in. So we've got the community, extremely important. portfolio or work in progress or whatever you want to call that, an area where it's open to everyone, we've got our Discover platform there, which is loads of information, and we'll have a look at that when I jump onto the website. There's also sort of school rankings, which I'm going to touch on. Moving to the next stage. So we've got our contest and challenges area. So this is where we host our annual rookie awards every year, as well as smaller contests that we run throughout the year. And these smaller contests are fantastic for just building out your portfolio. I really love contests. We've had some amazing case studies of people that have entered into smaller contests, being recognized and being given opportunities just by entering into the smaller contests. I love the fact that you have to respect the timeline. It's, it matches what you have to do when you get into industry, when you get an art brief, and be able to, meet deadlines. So it sets these like little mini challenges for people that maybe not used to respecting, deadlines. We operate our contest slightly differently. We always like to have training content that runs in parallel with those smaller contests, and that's really to make sure that everyone succeeds within these contests. You may not be the overall winner, but our objective with these contests is really to make sure that you've developed skills within that contest period. So we have this free training that we offer as part of it. Often we'll have industry professionals come in and just give high-level advice to entrants. It's not saying, hey, you know what, you're getting down to the nitty-gritty about what would make that entry a winning one. It's just more about, hey, presentation, what you could do better, high-level information for entrants. So you get a lot out of these little sort of mini contests. We've got some amazing ones planned for this year, which I can't wait to announce. But the big one, obviously, is Rookie Awards 2024, which is just around the corner. Global school rankings. This may or may not be relevant for a lot of you that are on the call today, but I just wanted to explain how we come about getting our global school rankings. Now, last year, when we look back at Rookie Awards 2023, we had 5,500 entries from students all around the world, a judging panel made up of 150 plus industry pros that go through and judge every single entry. So out of those 5,500 entries, every single person gets a judgment. And at the end of that, they even get a little digital certificate saying, hey, this is where industry think you currently sit, which is amazing. It's not a demo reel review. It's not a feedback session. It's just a little bit of information based on our judges' scores about where they currently think you sit. So you could be a first-year student, have done one project, super proud of it, and a judge gives you, a B. And you're like, you know what? That's validation for the hard work that I put into that project, right? So a lot of feedback that we get every year is that students are really amazed by getting that little bit of feedback and go, wow, all that hard work means, it is validation that I am doing a good job. So going back to the global school ranking, so all that data that we collect from the Rookie Awards, we then use to process our global school rankings. And what we're trying to do here is really identify where the best students are coming out of which training organization based on the scores that we get from Rookie Awards. So we collect all that based on whether you get into the draft, whether you get into the finals, whether you're an overall winner. There's a whole weighted scoring system that sits behind that, that's being done by much smarter people than me to then allow us to evaluate, okay, we think that this school is doing a fantastic job based on, the quality of the students coming out of it. So that's kind of how we derive our global school rankings. Schools can't pay to be part of this. They need to be encouraging students to enter into the Rookie Awards to then be factored into our global school rankings. School directory. This is another resource for people that are potentially looking for places to study. So maybe we've got high school students on the call today, and you're kind of like, oh my goodness, there's so many places that I could be studying, game design and development. Like, where do I go? There's marketing here, being splashed around everywhere. I'm just so confused. So what we wanted to do was create a school directory where we actually certify schools based on a criteria, which goes deep into, the courses that they're teaching, the software, the hardware, the teacher's background, whether the school featured in our ranks. There's a whole lot of different criteria that goes into us certifying school. The school has to go through a whole application process. But what we're trying to do there is find clear information and be able to give that back to people that are looking for reputable organizations to be able to go and study at. So you can go onto the school directory and you can see, these micro sites that the schools have got on our website, and you can see all their rankings. You can see all that's good stuff as well. All right, moving along. We've got a new area actually, and this is when you onboard onto the Rookies website, you can flag whether you're looking for work or not. So it's a find talent area. So recruiters can come on and be able to go, okay, cool, I'm looking for somebody based in France that is specializing in 2D concepts and is looking for work. So it's completely free for everybody. We're just trying to join up the dots here for students that are looking for work, and for recruiters that are trying to find junior talent. So it's a new area. You have to have projects in your portfolio area to be able to see the thumbnails that are generated here. So it's not just entering into a contest. You need to be able to, you have to create your portfolio or populate out that area first, which is great. And then the last one there, we have our Discord server. And this is really where we connect with a lot of our members through Discord. Students are uploading work here to get feedback. We're constantly updating channels there if there's contests being run, so there's a lot of information passing through our Discord server. So if you're not a member of our Discord service, then jump on. I can show you where that button is to join up. It's there's a lot of industry pros and students in there just interacting, and it's a great spot just to connect. Okay. Let's talk about Rookie Awards. So Rookie Awards 2024, what's new? Let's have a look. So like I mentioned, last year we had 5,500 entries. That's a lot of entries to get through. Over 500 schools participated in Rookie Awards, and there was a truckload of media uploaded as part of that. So this year, who knows, what the cap is going to, or what the numbers are going to be. It's always a bit of a shock to us, and it's amazing to see in those last few weeks how many people enter in. We think, oh, well, the numbers have dropped this year, and then, by the final week, we're getting thousands of entries just in that final week, which is just crazy. We're hoping to smash through 6,000 this year, which would be amazing. The audience is truly global. We get entries from all around the world, from countries that I've never even heard of before. So it's always astonishing to realize that the Rookies is being talked about in all parts of the world, which is fantastic. This is a bit of a breakdown of where the bigger numbers are coming from. So you can see there's a big contingent from Europe right through to North America and other parts of the world, which is great. So let's look at the main groupings for Rookie Awards this year. So we have Rookie of the Year, which is open to individuals specializing in a specific skill or industry. We have Film of the Year, open to teams and individuals that have created a film. Game of the Year, open to teams and individuals that have created a game. So Film of the Year, like it says, open to teams. We get some individuals that will create a whole short film by themselves, which is just mind-blowing within itself. But if you're an individual and you're one of those people, then you can absolutely enter into Film of the Year, and you can also enter into the Rookie of the Year, because that's open to individuals. So you can enter into multiple sort of categories there. And the last one down the bottom there is that we have our career opportunities, and this is where we partner with top studios and companies around the world to be able to join the dots. Essentially, they offer some sort of career opportunity. That could be an internship, a mentorship, anything that they want to offer. and you can submit an entry to that career opportunity. You just need to make sure that you're eligible and you read the art brief and what they're looking for before you submit to that career opportunity. So let's break down each one of these because we do have a few new categories. So this year we have got 12 categories. So yeah, we've got the the typical ones from last year: visual effects, concept art, illustration, game design and development. The new ones that we've got are graphic design and also web and app design. With Web3 more and more sort of 3D entering into that sort of space, we felt like it was the right time to open up that category as well. Graphic design, we're seeing a lot more 3D happening in that space as well. And more recently, we created the digital fashion one a couple of years ago, which last year we've seen a fantastic amount of entries. And that's that traditional fashion designer that's now moving into technology, creating those types of entries. Product and industrial design, we sort of just renamed that a little bit so that we're encompassing everything. With all these categories, we need to make sure that we kind of stay high level. Within visual effects, we could break that down into modeling, texturing, rigging, all our production roles. But if we did that for all these categories, we would have hundreds and hundreds of different categories. So we have to keep it pretty high level. If there is any confusion about which category you need to enter into, then just always ask the question about where do I actually want to work? If I'm applying for or submitting to the visual effects category, am I wanting to work at industrial light and magic, working on photorealistic, visual effects films? If that's kind of what you want to be doing, then just take a step back and have a look at your work. If you're integrating CG into live action plates, then that's the category that you're going to be entering into. We know, there is a bit of a gray area where it comes to full CG that is hyper realistic. Where does that go? Is that 3D animation or is it visual effects? Again, if it's photorealistic and it's for visual effects, that's where you be entering into that. If you're unclear, then we do have a help desk, which I'll show you as we get onto the website, where you can ask questions. Or another good reference point is looking at last year's visual effects category and just having a quick look through there to go, oh, okay, cool, that's similar to my entry, I'm going to put it in there. You might find that you might be guessing and you put it into a category. If we notice that it's in the wrong category, we will move it into the right category. If we've realized that it's been flagged by a judge that it's in the wrong category, we will move that in the back end so it is in the right category. So don't freak out if you're like, oh, I think I've put it in the wrong category. Can I delete and start again, or do I, create a whole new entry and put it into the right category? So if we look at film of the year, we've got these main categories: visual effects, 2D animation, 3D animation. Now, for these particular categories, this is where one person from the team gets nominated to create their team entry. Once that person is going through that onboarding process of uploading their entry, they can actually tag fellow team members that are already members of the Rookies website. So they can tag them. The team members will get added to that entry. What we don't want to see is 20 different uploads of the same short film. So just be aware of that. Now, if you're one of those team members that are part of a short film, we do highly recommend that you create your own unique entry. So maybe you've worked on a short film, you've been doing the texturing work for that whole short film, or some other skills within that short film. It is advisable to create your own your own entry that you can then enter into the Rookie of the Year categories, right? The data that we collect from this particular area we don't use for our global school rankings. So yeah, we recommend that if you are a part of a team, you create your own, and it's just really good practice to do that as well, because even working in the industry, there's nothing worse than getting 5 or 6 demo reels of somebody that's applying for a job and they all look exactly the same using the same short film. So it's great to be able to separate out your work and still be able to show a snippet of that short film at the end of it, saying, hey, this was the final product that we did, not, but just showcasing your skills of the particular role that you played within that short film is advisable. And it's the same for the Game of the Year stuff as well. If you're creating a game for PC and console, and you've got a full game, to be able to show what you did on that, and then submit that to the Rookie of the Year category. So you would submit that. Sorry, if I go back, you would submit that to the game development category there. One thing to note here, and we do get a lot of schools that are based in Europe that have created a short film that are then submitting that to the film festival circuit. And that film may be under embargo and it's not allowed to be viewed publicly. You can still safely create an entry for the Rookie Awards. There is an option when you're uploading your short film or embedding your video to have a password protection on that through Vimeo. Right, so then only our judges will get that password and be able to see that final short film. Just be, aware that it will not be shown publicly, and that you're safe to be able to create an entry of that short film. All right, just moving along. Career opportunities. So each year we partner up with, a number of companies for them to come back and create career opportunities. Now, for a lot of people, this is getting your foot in the door. We've had amazing success stories of people that have, gone on to create to do these opportunities, and then to be employed by the company, full time. I know, for example, Weather Effects have been with us for, I don't know, it must be 5, 6, 7 years perhaps. Each year they offer up an opportunity, and we've still got some of those early internship winners that are still working at the company. Some stayed there for many years and now have created their own companies and are doing really, really well. So this is where a lot of it can create a lot of change in your life if you get one of these opportunities, and it can really set you off on a path of getting into the industry. So like I mentioned before, just really take the time to read the brief for each of these. For example, Weather Effects, that's an on-site internship in Wellington in New Zealand. You need to be eligible to work in New Zealand. They're not going to organize a visa for you. Whereas some of those internships are virtual, so then you're able to apply for them. So just take the time to read those different briefs for the career opportunities. Okay, key dates. Submissions open March the 7th, which is not far away. We close for submissions on May 31st, and then we pretty much spend all of June into July for judging, those 5,500 entries. And we announce the winners July 27th. And then following that, then we'll do our global school rankings after we've got all that data. So write these down in your diary. Make sure you, understand when we're closing for submissions. Try not leave it to the last minute. We do encourage people to enter early. There are a number of reasons why you should enter early. Obviously, the longer that your entry is on the rookie site, you're going to be getting a lot more exposure. You're going to be getting a lot more coverage of that. Our editorial team will be sharing that work. If you leave it to the last minute and there's thousands of entries on the last week, then the chances of getting that reshared on our social media are probably pretty slim. So try and enter in early. There's prizes and things that we're doing to encourage people to enter early. So there's some cool things happening. All right. Without our sponsors, we would be nothing. We have some amazing support by some of the big heavyweights in the in the hardware and software space. So each year, we thank them very much for being part of it. They offer up amazing prizes for all our entrants. Some amazing. I think last year we had a starter kit was valued at over $35,000 for a random giveaway. So again, big kudos to our sponsors. And Our schools, without the schools encouraging students to enter, the Rookie Awards again wouldn't be what it is today. So there's a lot of fantastic schools from all around the world doing amazing work that we want to really showcase the students' work, and also pay respect to some of the lecturers out there that are doing amazing work. Give them a shout out. If you think they're doing a great job, then we have an area on our Discord server which is talking about schools. Give your lecturer a shout out. Everyone's always interested to know, where the best lecturers are and who's teaching, the best courses. All right, so we're done with the slide presentation. I'm going to now just jump onto the website. So let's just jump over here. And what I wanted to do here was just kind of quickly go through. Actually, what I might start with first is just to actually, before I jump into the website, is actually show you how to create an entry. So I'm going to come over here. I've got this page open, and this is a local version of the website, so I'm able to open up Meet Matt contest. But the process is exactly the same as if you are entering into the Rookie Awards 2024. Now, one thing to note is, and if I just come back across to the website here, when you're creating an entry for a contest, or whether you're uploading a project for your portfolio area, they are two very different things. Each year we get people that come onto the Rookies platform and they're like, yeah, cool, man, I'm gonna enter into the Rookie Awards, and it's the first time on the platform, and they come up and they think they're actually creating an entry for the Rookie Awards, but they're actually creating a project for their portfolio site. So we always encourage people that have never been onto the Rookies platform before to actually just create on board, create a project, start building out that portfolio area or work in progress area, or whatever you want to call that, just so you get familiar with the actual page builder. Page builder itself is exactly the same as if you are creating an entry for a contest, right? So it's always good to go into that with the knowledge of how to create that. So I'm here, I'm under contests. You can see we're already promoting the Rookie Awards for this year. You can sneak peek, you can see who the judges are on board. You can see some of the prizes that are being populated now, some of the career opportunities that we've got going on there as well. So you can see we've got 138 judges so far, and there's even more being added as we speak. So let's just jump in. So you can see here, say for example, I wanted to enter into Meet Matt. So I need to come into this contest area and actually enter into the contest. Enter now. Cool. So I'm in the contest. This is a short overview of the contest, right? And for Meet Matt, I'm just going to go, okay, cool. I've read all this. I can see what the deliverables are. I'm going to submit an entry to this particular contest. So I click on Submit Entry. You can see, whoops, and I've gone into the back end because I'm an admin. So I need to just log out there and sign back in as a normal user. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to sign back in and bring that up. Sign back in. And sign, and there we go, cool. All right, so now that I'm signed in, I'm just gonna add that. Log in there. Okay, cool. Now that I'm signed in, so again, sorry, I was signed in as admin. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to go to contest, I'm going to go to that Meet Matt, I'm going to enter now, and then I'm going to go, cool, submit entry. So this is our page builder. This is exactly the same view that you would see for Rookie Awards. And, the process is exactly the same. So I just want to run through some of these widgets really quickly, and then just talk about, when you're creating entry, there is no right or wrong way. I think I always talk about looking at last year's winning entries as a really good place to be able to research and find out, what makes up a good entry. And some people will divide it up into projects. Other people will divide it up into sort of certain skills. Some people will do a combination of that. But as long as it's clear to our judges and you've got good descriptions in there, so always when you're creating your entry, just go, okay, am I giving the judges enough information for them to evaluate this particular entry? So let's just start by adding some text, and I've just got some dummy text here, but maybe this is a bit of an introduction about yourself. Whoops, let's just copy that, control there, type that in there. Okay, cool, done. So this might be a bit of an introduction about yourself, and hey, I've got 4 projects that I'm submitting to the Rookie Awards, blah, blah, blah. Just adding something so a judge can go, okay, cool, got some context. Next thing that you could do is, you could actually add, instead of adding an image, maybe you want to add a bit of a divider. So you can add a space here, then you can go, okay, cool, I'm going to add one image, and maybe that's it's creating a divider, and maybe that's a header where you've got some font on there going the name of the project, right? So you could just add something like this. I'm going to do a single one, going to go done. I can choose to do that full width or keeping it narrow. So if somebody's viewing this on a browser, if it's full width, that would be the full width of that browser window. So you could, do something that maybe is half that size with some font there and announcing what that project is. And then I can proceed to add more images on that project. So maybe I'm going to add, 4 more images in here. I can just drag and drop those images into, I can add up to 10. Oh, sorry, I just dropped that into Photoshop instead of, I'm going to just drop those images into here. And I can add up to 10 images here. I can reorder these images however I want. If I don't like something, then I can remove it. I can keep adding to this if I need to as well. I just wanted to close down Photoshop there. I don't need that running in the background. So I've done that. Again, full width or narrow, totally up to you, personal preference. Come down. Actually, I'm going to describe a little bit more about what this project is all about. So again, adding some more description in there. Thinking, again, always going back, is the judge going to understand what I've done here? Okay, cool. I've got this is project 1, got some relevant images. Maybe I've got some Vimeo video that I want to embed in here. Then I can do that as well. Drop that in there. And you can see here, this is where what I was referring to before about being able to add that password with those short films that are under embargo. So I can add a password here if it is protected in Vimeo. So I go done. So that's cool. I've got this project. Now I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to do my second project here, right? So I've got done. Maybe go full width on that. And now I'm announcing my second project. So that you can keep going through. There's a process view that our judges love to be able to review work in. And I'm just going to add a couple of images here. I'll do that. I'm going to go done. So you can add up to, I think it's 5 images here. And, judges love to be able to scrub through and evaluate based on this great little widget. Some people have used it for doing little animations. You can stack it up with your model, your lighting, rendering, texture, all the different passes inside here to be able to really showcase your work there. There is, for those people that are more technically inclined, there is a widget here to be able to add a link to your GitHub repository. And here, this is where code, a judge that is reviewing code can be able, can come in and review that. So unfortunately, the portfolio is more visual rather than technical. But what we do suggest is that, if you have had, created plugins or done some scripting for a particular game or whatever it may be, don't be scared to show the end result and then, describe what you did for it and be able to showcase some of the technical aspects that you did for that game as well. You've got so I'm just going to get rid of that. You've also got a 3D viewer, which is your SketchUp. So maybe you've uploaded some assets to Sketchfab. You can then showcase that inside of your portfolio, your entry here. So you've got that. So like I said, there's a number of different really cool widgets that you can play around with to showcase your entry in the best possible way. So once I've got to a point where I'm happy, I can hit continue. And oh, sorry, did I need, yep, continue. It's going to ask me to upload, a cover image. So I can just drag something in here as well. And this is where I'm going, okay, so instead of 2023, it would be 2024 VFX entry, add a description, whatever it may be, this is 3 years of work and, been, specializing in this, whatever it may be. So you can add a bit of a description there, high level. Software that you've used, maybe you've used ZBrush, Maxon ZBrush, maybe you've used Adobe Substance 3D Painter, you can add that. Tags, so maybe you're specializing in, say, sort of character art, or you're doing 2D animation, whatever it may be, you can just add those different tags in here as well. And this is, at this point, for those people that are uploading a group or team-based project, this is where you can add those team members. So just make sure you find the username that you can then tag those team members and be able to add them into here. I'm just going to remove Adrian there. And if I wanted to use the same image as a cover image, I just flag that. If there's any sort of content that you think's a little bit edgy in terms of sort of, that adult content, then just flag that just to make sure that you're covered. And once you've done that, we'll move to the next phase. Now, you can see here categories. There's only one showing because this is the Meet Mac contest. But if this was for Rookie Awards, you would see those 12 categories that I was referring to before. Once you've got, you could go through and then go, okay, cool. I'm really wanting to submit this to game design and development. Then you would flag that category. All the other categories then get grayed out and you've selected your category. Now, maybe your submission, your entry here is also valid for a career opportunity with a gaming studio. You would also see that in the list that you could then flag that career opportunity. If you have got enough content, so maybe you're specializing in game design and development, but you've also got a body of work that is 2D, concept art and illustration, that you go, I want to do one for game design and development, and I want to do one for concept art and illustration, then you would have to go through this whole process again to create a new submission for that new category. What we don't want to see is an entry that comprises of game design and development, some 2D animation, some motion graphics, and some immersive, whatever it may be, AR content. We don't want to see that. It's really confusing for our judges to be able to know what to evaluate. If you want to enter into multiple categories, then you need to create multiple entries that can have multiple projects inside of it, but you need to have unique entries for those particular categories. I hope I'm clear there. I just want to say that again. You can enter into multiple categories, but you need to have unique entries for each of those categories that comprises of one or more projects that is relevant for that particular category. Okay, so I've selected my open category here. I'm going to hit continue. So this would be, and then you'll get a whole thing. Okay, cool. If you were submitting to a career opportunity, it's like, are you eligible to enter into this? So there's big red flags at this point when you get to the Rookie Award submission. With the Rookie Award submission, it's slightly different as well. You can save your entry as a draft and be able to go back. So at this point, you would say, hey, are you sure you want to enter it, or do you want to just save it as a draft? So then you could save it as a draft and go, okay, cool. I know I've got another project that I've almost finished. I'm just building this out. I'm going to come back and add that final project when I'm done. So you can start building out your Rookie Awards entry, as of March the 7th, and be able to keep adding to that. Just know that it will not be published. It won't be public facing. So it's a completely safe space for you to start, to build that out. If you do accidentally submit entry, you do have the ability to delete it and start all over again. So yeah, it's not doom or gloom, but just know that once you hit submit entry, that then notifies all our lead judges, hey, look here, there's a submission ready to be judged, right? That happens in the back end, notifications happen. Our judges then will start reviewing work. So yeah, when you delete that, a judge may have already scored already put a judgment against it. or judges may have already done that. So you're removing that from the contest and you're starting completely new again. So just be sure. I mean, there's nothing worse than when I'm, judging and I've gone, oh, haven't I already judged this before? And then, you've seen it several times because somebody keeps deleting their entry and resubmitting it because so just save it as a draft, go back to it. When you're 100% sure that you're ready to publish, push the big button and away you go. And once you publish that, then it will appear on so if we go to view entries, so if this was for Rookie Awards, you would see your entry come up under that particular category. If you've got creating projects inside of your portfolio area, that's where you'd come across to projects and see, your different projects. This is all different projects in here, right? So the two areas, you've got the contest area and obviously the project area. While I'm in the project area here, so maybe I'm like, hey, you know what? This is way too much for me. I'm a first-year student, looking at all this amazing content and getting overwhelmed with it all. Then you can come up here and actually just search by user type. So we've got these 4 main user types. So a debut is somebody that is really at the beginning of their journey. So that is starting out, that maybe just, new to 3D. So this is where a great area that you can kind of like go, oh, okay, cool. This is kind of where I'm at. I'm not freaking out so much anymore. People are at the same level as me. That's cool. I can relate to that. So don't be overwhelmed by the Rookies platform. We get feedback each year. There's like people are scared to post this. So this isn't a final, oh my God, everyone's going to be looking at my work and recruiters are going to be judging me based on this. It's not like that at all. This is a safe space for you to be posting those first projects, for you to start building out your online presence. The earlier you do that, the more confidence that you're going to build within yourself to go, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to just get my stuff out there anyway. First year, proud of it. Let's do it. Let's show it off. Because what happens with that is people go, yeah, wow, that's pretty cool, and you start getting feedback and it helps your learning curve. It really helps fast track that whole process. So, yeah, I mean, I can't recommend it enough, like I said, where people are posting on Discord as well, getting their work out there. Now, if you're if you've graduated and you're really wanting to up the ante here and see what the final the sort of grads are doing or their content that they're delivering, then you can filter that and start like looking at some of that stuff as well. That is the find talent area that I was talking about before. What I wanted to do actually was just go back into, I'll just go back into the slide deck for a sec, because there was a couple of areas where I had frequently asked questions that I just didn't cover. So I just want to just jump back into that. Let's have a look at that for a sec, because that'll just help jog my memory. Boom. All right, so we've got some, that's why it was hidden. So let's just unskip that and unskip that, and let's just do this. All right, so yeah, I forgot about this one before. Cool. So let's just see what I've covered and what I've missed out. No point in entering because I won't win. Like I mentioned, it's about building confidence. We love seeing people enter into multiple consecutive years of Rookie Awards. We see the progress. We go, and you can enter in projects that you've entered into previous Rookie Awards. We don't care where your work comes from. It could be from other contests. It could be from student work. It could be personal work. We don't care as long as it's your best work, and there is no professional work is included in your entry. So, if you're a first-year student going, why would I bother? Give it a shot. Next year you can go again. Build on that. It's getting your work out there. Is this contest only for students? No, it's not. It's for anybody that's non-professional. So you could be somebody that is doing workshops or master classes or whatever it may be, or learning online. You don't necessarily have to be at higher education and a bricks and mortar school to enter into the Rookie Awards. Some years we get members that are changing careers. mature age students that have come from a particular industry and are completely pivoting into something different. And we do review those types of entries, though, because if you've come from, say, architectural visualization and you've been working in that industry for 8+ years, and you have knowledge of 3D programs and have, you know, that sort of background in 3D, and then you're moving into game design and development, for example, we deem that as an unfair advantage, and we would say that you can't enter into the Rookie Awards. So we want to keep it really fair for everybody that's entering in. Everyone that gets into the finals, we review their LinkedIn profiles. We have a team of people that will look through those entries to see if there's any professional work that's been included. We need to screen those people to make sure that we don't include industry professionals in that winner's circle or even entering into the Rookie Awards. So please be honest with it. One thing to note there as well is that if you have a LinkedIn profile and you're kind of making yourself like you've got more experience than you have, and you're embellishing it a little bit, then maybe just review it, because like I said, we have a team of people that will be checking out your LinkedIn profile. And if you're saying that you're an art director of 5 years at a company of 1, and it's something that you created yourself, and you know you really haven't got that sort of art director experience, then just be mindful of those kinds of statements. Can I have more than 1 project per entry? Absolutely. Like I said, you can have several projects of your best work that create an entry, as long as that content is relevant for that particular category that you're entering into. You can't enter your entry once you've published. Yeah, I mentioned that. Save it as a draft. Once it's published, you can delete it or remove the whole entry, which is a real pain, because then you have to go through and resubmit it and redo it all. So just save it as a draft. If you're not sure, save it as a draft. Not leaving enough time. Like I said, we had thousands of people leaving it to the last minute last year, and it was so save yourself the stress. Get your entry in relatively early, and relieve that pressure. Not including project descriptions or breakdowns. When I was going through that, how to create an entry before, and I was adding some text there of, like adding those types of descriptions about what you've done, adding a bit of a breakdown, showcasing key milestones of projects along the way. Think of it, again, always think about who that end person is that's going to be viewing this. Are you completely clear about what you've done for this project? Don't just upload a video, or don't just upload several rendered images and that's it, because you will get ranked or scored accordingly. And even just on that, if you've got several projects that you think are really good, and you've got one that's like, oh, should I add that or should I not? If you're questioning yourself about that final project, then ask for advice from people whether you should add it or not, because each year the number of people or entrants that don't get into the finals because they include one project that let them down is incredible. So really just be super critical about what you're uploading for. If you're really competing at that top level of going for Rookie of the Year, or for those accolades, then just be really critical of the projects that you're including in there. I covered team members submitting multiple entries. Don't include professional work. So what makes you eligible to enter into the Rookie Awards? So actually, students that graduated last year are eligible to enter into this year's Rookie Awards. So where the cutoff line is when somebody has less than 12 months industry or work experience. So we've found that people will graduate. So graduates from last year will be still working on their final portfolio and spending time, making sure that they're finessing those final projects, maybe doing a little bit of freelance work on the side, but really still haven't cracked into the industry. We still want to be able to support those types of people. So if you've got less than 12 months experience, work experience, then you're still eligible to enter into the Rookie Awards, as long as you're not including any of those sort of freelance jobs or any of that professional work that you may have been starting to accumulate. It can only be student work or personal work or whatever it is. It can't be any professional work. I covered the difference between creating an entry and creating a project for your portfolio. Should have portfolio there at the end. And can I include personal projects? Yes, you can. We do allow fan art, and people get inspired by that, the concept of being able to use fan art, which is totally fine. So yeah, we do allow that. And I've covered those last 2 points. Can I resubmit work that I used in previous years? Yes, you can. In fact, we encourage that. Some years we see members that have entered previous years and they didn't include projects, and we're like, wow, that was such a good project. Why did they not include that as part of this year's entry? So we just want to be completely clear on that. You can use past entries and projects that you've entered into the Rookie Awards as part of this year as well, or New Year's coming up. All right. I think, is that, what's that? Yeah, so I think that was it. Did I hide? Yeah. And this one here, let's just have a look at this one. Check out, yeah. So I'll have a look at this in a minute, but we'll check out last year's entry so we can get ideas of where you can, really get a blueprint of what it takes to create a winning entry from last year's archived Rookie Awards. Get your entry in early. I covered that. Treat your entry like a job application and really sell yourself. And that's what I was talking about before, about just having some pride in the entry that you're creating. Again, this is your first really touch point with a lot of industry professionals. Like I said, we've got almost 140 odd industry professionals that are going to be looking at your work. So irrespective of whether you win Rookie Awards or not, you've got a lot of industry professionals looking at your work. So be proud of what you're presenting, and make sure that you put your best foot forward when you're actually creating these entries. We know personally that judges will reach out to entrants. If there's jobs going at the companies that they're working at, we've had numerous occasions where people that have entered into the Rookie Awards have been offered jobs during the whole process. So below the surface of the Rookie Awards, there's a lot of good stuff happening where opportunities are being created. So make sure that you really sell yourself there. Use all the page widgets that I covered. Don't pick every category and expect a good result. Like, just really evaluate what your body of work is and go, am I going to have enough work there to really be able to compete? If you're at that top end, maybe you're just the first year and you're like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to enter into one category, and that's totally fine. But if you've got semi-decent work and you're like, oh, okay, cool, I'm just going to throw one project at that category, one project at that category, and enter into 7 different categories, and not really doing yourself any favors there. Create tailored entry. Did I covered that? Okay, cool. I want to just talk about where you can be able to contact us if you have any problems or issues. So let's just jump back onto the actual website here, and I'm just going to move that one over there because that's my local version. So you can see down here in the bottom, my right-hand corner here, there's this little bubble, or this little help bubble here. So this is, if you have any questions, feel free to add a message in here, and that will come to us directly. The other place that you can go is to our help desk. Now, if I scroll all the way down to the bottom of any page, we have these quick links to various parts of the website and to our Discord server. There's one here, help desk. Now that opens this portal here, and you can see here we've got a specific category for Rookie Awards. In here, we've tried to answer as many questions as we possibly can that we get every year. So if I haven't covered something today, then be sure to check this area out, because I'm pretty certain that it will be covered in here. And even when I read this, when will I receive my digital certificate, things like that, so just go through, can I submit fan art? Go through and just do a quick review of this before you send us a message in the actual help desk bubble down here. Other areas that I wanted to point out were, so if you wanted to join Discord, then you can come up here, obviously join our Discord server here. You'll get a link, and then you'll be able to be part of our Discord server here. So you can see here, I'm just on the Rookie Awards 2024. There's a new channel that's been set up. You can view, in gallery format, whatever it may be. You can see here we had one set up for Meet Matt contest, where, like I said, we were, announcing, we were giving support. People had problems with certain things, so we were able to give that feedback. There's our official training that we had for it. We had 4 different videos, going through the basics of that stuff. There's feedback area here where, we're giving feedback to members and stuff as well. So a lot of people that are part of this Discord, so get involved and join up. Other areas I wanted to touch on was, we've got this about area, and if people aren't aware of the different user types, then it's color coded. So I was talking about debut before. This is where we've got our player, our contender, rookie, and our pro. You'll never see this color avatar as part of the website, just because when industry pros try to create a portfolio of work, we ask them to remove it. We'd never want to get into that position where we've got industry pros that are sort of, I guess, corrupting what we're trying to do here, which is all about supporting non-professionals on their journey of getting into industry. So it's not about competing with industry pros. If you want to do that, then go to ArtStation or whatever it may be. We kind of position ourselves as the ArtStation before you go to ArtStation, and it's actually we have a community of, and there's a soul here. You're not just going to dump your work on a portfolio website. There's actually people behind it. You can always access the founders, me and Andrew or whoever the team. We really do care about our members. So you'll never see a pro color-coded portfolio on the website. So if I just to explain this, debut is, like I said before, is maybe that high school student that has graduated, got just really starting to figure out the landscape of how to get into or where to go study. And then we have player, contender, which are really at different stages of their learning journey. Contender is somebody that's just maybe in their final year, looking at developing those soft skills of networking, really trying to understand where they can start building, build out their portfolio, looking into where to apply, all those kind of, I guess, upskilling areas once you've, gone through the training. And a rookie is somebody that has graduated, that's really now, like I mentioned before, has got doing some freelance work, that's just really trying, but hasn't quite cracked it yet. That's our rookie. All right, almost done. Let's have a look. What else have we got here? So we featured members, high fives, to our articles and stuff down here. So there's a bunch of content. I'm sure you've all been on it before. The only other place I wanted to go to was maybe our schools, and you can see, I just wanted to explain this a little bit. So we have our global school rankings, which I mentioned. If we click into a school here, what I just wanted to showcase was, you can see this one, Artifact School. Maybe there's some people from Artifacts that are online that have achieved, rankings throughout the years. So they're showcasing their badges, a bit of a show demo reel, members, artwork, portfolios that are on the rookies that links back into it, students, some of the courses, etc. So it's a bit of a snapshot of what that particular school is offering. And yeah, I think we are almost done. Discover, last area I wanted to show, because there's resources here. So maybe you're just like, hey, I would love to have a model to be able to texture, or a rigged character that I could play around with. We've got some free resources here. So you can see we've got, a model of a car, a van, Eddie Robot. These are things that we've used in previous contests. Feel free to download these assets and be able to start playing around with it. All right, I'm almost out of breath, so we'll park it there. And if there's anybody that has any questions, then I'm happy to open up the mic and let people, people ask some questions if I haven't covered it. Let's just have a quick look in the chat. I have a 3D printing model, which is an interactive installation. Can you suggest which category should I enter? Also, can I have two different projects in the same category? Edmund, yes, you can have two different projects in the same category, as long as both of those projects are relevant for that particular category. I have a 3D printed, I guess it's printed model, which is interactive installation. I'd need to see what that looks like to fully understand what category that goes into. So feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I accept everybody's invite. So if you're got some questions, then ping me through LinkedIn or through Discord or whatever it may be. I can have a look at that and evaluate what that is. It's hard to know what category that goes into without seeing it. Maybe that's more immersive and AR immersive, not too sure. As teamwork is prohibited, but using third-party assets is allowed, I am curious, as teamwork is prohibited, just using third-party assets is allowed. I am curious if I am eligible, if I'd be able to use character in my environment work. Okay, so let's just break that down a little bit. Felix, I don't know if you want to open up your mic to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
So just asking if I'm eligible if like I'm using a character of a person I know in like a game environment, like I will do all the environment work and just use a static character as it's like the main focus of a concept I found and I love.
Yeah, absolutely. So with anything, if you're using other people's assets or third-party assets, we don't mind, as long as you disclose to the judges or as part of your entry, hey, this model or this asset was provided by blah, 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 right? So the judges will then recognize that and then judge accordingly. So we don't, if you're doing ArcViz, for example, and you've downloaded assets from a third-party website, we don't mind that you do that, because some people are specializing in lighting or texturing or whatever it may be and have downloaded models and they don't want to, model all the assets. That's completely fine as long as you disclose that as part of your entry. Be completely transparent about that, please. We can't stress that enough. So yeah.
So it would not be considered teamwork, even if the person is also like participating in the Rookie Awards with this character.
No, it wouldn't. No, as long as you said, Felix, hey man, so and so from my team modeled the character. I just did the texturing on it, and and that's really clear in your entry. Then that's totally fine.
Great to hear. Thanks.
Carla, I'm here as a lecturer getting info to onboard my students. Hey, awesome. Great to have you here, Carla. Could I possibly get a copy of this video recording? Absolutely. I would love for them to hear this information. No problem. The other thing that I will do right now is I'm going to just post. So I've just got this in the chat. Actually, I'm just going to attach these files, your computer. I'm just adding them into the chat now before I forget. Okay, so that's being uploaded. So included here, Carla, is a PDF of the slide presentation that I just delivered then, as well as commonly asked questions, and as well as some information about joining our Discord server. So yeah, download that. The recording will be available. So we'll send that link out or make it available to you. Maybe reach out to me on Discord or wherever it is, on LinkedIn, and I can send you the link. Louise, may I ask, if I have already created the project on Rookie's website, should I delete it and recreate a post for the entry? No, I would keep it on I would keep your project on your portfolio area. That's totally fine. Like in fact, if you've created, because with promoting projects and portfolios, our editorial team look there first. So it's actually just good practice like I mentioned at the start of the presentation, to actually build out your portfolio area first and go, okay, cool, I can use that. I can use this widget to do this, and I can do that and all the rest of it. And then once you're comfortable, then you can, redo another one for Rookie Awards. So building out the project area is actually what I would do first. So you've done the correct thing. And hopefully, the editorial team, social media team will share some of your work, now that you've already got that project there as well. So no, that's totally fine. Don't delete it. Ida, is there a limit to how many projects I can include in one entry? All would be the same category, of course. Yeah, no, there is no limit at all. But like I said, just be careful about adding that one project that'll stop you getting into the finals. So just know where the line in the sand is and go, okay, here's, I'm really going for this. This is my best body of work. This is where I'm going to. So there is no limit, but yeah, just be mindful of that. Hi, I'm reaching 12 months since graduating next month, but want to participate with what I've done up to now. Would that be okay? I'm reaching 12 months since graduating next month. Okay. Depends on what that date is, Sebastian. So if you're still within that 12-month period from March the 7th, then you scrape in. So that would be okay. As long as you're not including any professional work, then that's totally fine. Next question, are we allowed to use music songs in a 3D animation as long as we provide due credit? Yes, you can. And as long as it's been licensed or it's like just, what the deal is with music. So don't get yourself in trouble if you're going to get found out even if you're posting to YouTube and stuff like that with commercial songs. So just, just be mindful of that. But yes, you can have music. To be honest, even when I'm working in industry, music wasn't a big thing. When judges are reviewing stuff, hearing music on every single demo reel can drive you slightly mad. So most times people will just turn the music off anyway. But if it's enhancing your short film and there is a real added I guess benefit to having the music, then go for it. All right. What else? There's got to be more questions. Feel free to open the mic and ask questions. Yeah. Louise, thank you. And may I ask if I have projects for two different categories like VFX for film and environment for games, should I create two different posts that include all my projects in one category for the entry for each category? Louise, do you want to explain yourself there a little bit? I got lost at categories.
Oh yeah. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Good question. I think I know where
Sure.
you're going.
Sorry, I just want to ask, like, if I have, like, for example, several projects for one category, but like I have like two categories that I want to submit. Should I just include like several projects in one post and then submit for one category, and then like for two I have two different posts for example for VFX for film and then environments for game?
Yeah, so we're clear. So if you've got content for visual effects, create an entry. If you got content for game design and development, create an entry with multiple projects, right? So you would separate them out. Don't create one big monster entry with all your VFX stuff and all your game stuff and then submit that into both of those categories. You need to split out the work so it's relevant for that particular category. Does that make sense, Louise?
Oh yeah, definitely. And also just want to double confirm. So if we can include several projects in one entry post.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah. So the question before was like, is there a limit to the number of projects that you can have in a particular entry? No, there's not. But as long as those projects are relevant for that particular category. Yep. So you can have multiple projects. No problem at all.
Thank you.
Awesome. Great question. Anyone else? Just looking. What I wanted to do, actually, yeah, just before we wrap it up, I'm back in contests up the top here, and you can see we've already got Rookie Awards 2024. I'm going to open that up, and we can have a quick look at that. But I'm also going to scroll down. You can see we've got archive contests here, and this is if you wanted to go back and look at last year's winners. So maybe you want to look at view results, and I'm going to scroll down, and maybe I'm interested in game or concept art, for example. I'm going to look at the winners, and this is a great area for you to be able to come and just check out how they've created their entry. So let's look at, say, the runner-up for concept art from last year. And you can see here, you can see that this person has created a unique image which is announcing this particular project, right? Great. Done a bit of a description. This is my graduation project from school that I studied at, da-da-da-da. And then starts getting into, showcasing the work. With all this stuff, the judges are able to, obviously go in and really zoom in and see all the detail. So they have, great tools to be able to review the work. You can see this process view in action here. So people use it in different ways. Here's the initial sketches to the final sort of drawing. Again, process view in place, loading up with multiple images. Bit of a description, this is what this, so really good work here of how they've presented it. So yeah, like I mentioned before, this, and let's just see if there's another project. This is loading up as, see different project views. It's a really good breakdowns. They've got some sculpting stuff there as well, talking about that. And then they're introducing their second project. Got a nice big header as a title card. Boom, straight into the second project, right? So that's just one way of doing it. I think, actually, let me just check, because I'm pretty sure I had, let's just do that, bring that across. I had some, let's go here. Yep, cool. Yeah, no, I was just seeing if there was some entries that didn't have these types of breakdowns. But anyway, that's, you get the idea. The more information that you're able to give our judges, the more, the higher score you're going to be able to get. So just go through, review last year's. Like I said, you've got all the categories here that you can go through and actually check out, even for the career opportunities. If we look at, some of the winners from that or finalists, you can do that and be able to check out all that stuff. So a great resource. Now, just looking at this year's contest, we can quickly go in and, see all the judges that are part of, so far that are part of the judging panel, which is amazing. people from ILM, DNEG, all the top studios and gaming studio, Riot Games, all sorts of people. These are the people that are checking out your work. So, awards, these are the types of badges. Excellence badge, you get a draft badge, the winners, all these types of badges that you get at the end. What I want to do here is just scroll down to the bottom, and it's probably pretty small on the screen, so let me just try and do that. But you can see here, this is what you would get after the Rookie Awards. We've announced the winners. You probably get this about a month after we've gone through and processed all the data, but you get this digital certificate that then a lot of people then promote on on their LinkedIn or social media platforms, saying, hey, really proud that I got an A or whatever it may be as part of the Rookie Awards. Prizes, there's a whole truckload of prizes being offered this year again. The rules, have a look, have a skim over. I know it's not that too dense of reading, to be honest, but if you're questioning whether you're eligible, some of the stuff about fan art, professional work, AI generated artwork, that's a big topic which I haven't really covered, but maybe just have a look there what our policy is on that, and also the different categories and groupings, what we're looking for here in each of the different categories, right? So yeah, be sure to check out some of the rules. Well, that is it from me, I think. Last question from Armando. Can we submit the same project to different categories? Armando, have you been listening? You can. So when I say you can submit a. So can you just explain what you mean by that? Because the project needs to be relevant for the particular category that you're entering into. So actually there is one exception to that. So if you're entering into game design and development, for example, and you've created some assets or a level design, and you've got some concept art that is actually relevant for that particular asset or level design, then you're using that as supporting, I guess, documentation or supporting material for that entry, then that's okay to include that sort of concept art. If that concept art had nothing to do with that particular project, then you wouldn't include it as part of that entry. So you can have the same project. So you could have, you know, that same project being used in concept art and illustration that is being featured in game design and development, that is supporting material for that particular entry. So that would be the only time that you would have the same possibly the same project, if that makes sense. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else? Hi, Owen. Are there no internship opportunities?
Sorry.
I'll just answer this one
Oh,
last question.
Sure.
Hi, Owen. Are there no internship opportunities at Weather Effects New Zealand this year? There is. We're just waiting for final confirmation of that. So there will be details coming soon about that. So yeah, there is. I mean, we're currently, you know, the Rookie Awards is like it says, is a kind of sneak mode. If we go back to here, if I go back to contests, we're currently, you know, promoting it, but it's a sneak peek. So there are new career opportunities being added every week. There is new sponsors being added. There's new judges being added. So really, we just wanted to be able to start promoting it. So there's new opportunities being added every other week. Go for it. Somebody had a question.
Oh,
Louise.
it's me. I just had a follow-up question on the previous question. So, for example, there's like two category. One is for the job opportunity, and the other is for example, the environment for game. Like in the game development category, can we submit like one project for both of them? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, great question. So yeah, and that's what I was saying before. When you're building out your entry, and you get to select which categories you're going to enter into. So you'll have the option to go, cool, I want to select game design and development category, and the career opportunities will still be open down the bottom. So then you'll be able to submit that same entry into the career opportunity. So for example, if there was a game company looking for that set of skills that you've just submitted to that game category, then you would be able to select that career opportunity. So yes, you can select or submit that same entry for career opportunity. Good question, Louise.
thank you.
I will finish school this year. Can I try the rookies next year, or will it be too late? Can I try the rookies next year, or will it be too late? I finish school. I mean, Jacob, you could enter. So when you say you finish school, that you mean higher education, or are you high school student, or what level are you at, Jacob? Academy of Video Arts. I mean, you could enter this year. It depends again on when you graduate next year. So if so you would be still eligible to enter into Rookie Awards next year if you graduate after March, after March the 7th of this year, right? So you'd still probably be eligible. It depends on when you graduate. So you graduate July 2024. Yeah, so you're eligible to enter next year. Absolutely. No problem at all. Cool. No worries. Well, there was a lot of information in that session. So thank you all for jumping on board. I know there's a lot to take in there. So yeah, I know it's getting late for some people as well. Hopefully everyone's downloaded that information that I put in the chat there. Like I said, this is going to be recorded. If you forget half the information that I've talked to you about, then we will put this recording in a Dropbox account that you can then pick up and be able to watch. Feel free to grab it. Could you upload it again? You want me to upload that information again? Okay, cool. So let's just do that one more time. So you've got it. Thank you all for jumping on, and I'm going to do that one more time. Good luck. any questions, jump into the help desk or send us a message. Jump on Discord. That is probably the fastest way that you're going to get a response. If you are a student, promote it to the rest of your faculty, to your other schools. Yeah, spread the word. It would be amazing for some of these other areas like architectural visualization or digital fashion or whatever it may be. So get your school really involved. Make them understand that you need to be participating in it for them to be featuring in the global school rankings. But thank you all for jumping on, and good night, good morning, good afternoon, and we'll talk soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.